When Klaus was talking earlier in the evening at the party, when Klaus was talking to who he thought was Elena, it was actually Catherine. And he told her in point blank terms, he said, "You better make sure Damon's on his best behavior tonight because I swear, you forget, I have hybrids here. And they will make sure that nothing happens to me. So if he tries to make a move, they will kill him. And he can't fight them. They're too strong for him. They'll rip him apart." And Catherine, in a rare moment of, dare I say, humanity, runs over to the boarding house where she knows Stefan is lying unconscious. He wakes up. She gives him some blood to give him strength, and she explains to him what Klaus has said, that he's planning that Damon will probably get himself killed if he even tries to take Klaus down. She's betting on Stefan's love for Damon, even if he claims to not feel anything. She's hoping against hope that he will feel some sort of love for his brother, that he will do something to save his life. So that whole Stefan pulling Damon off of Klaus, it wasn't to save Klaus. That was just a byproduct. It was actually to save Damon, because the hybrids were poised and ready to kill him, even though Catherine already took them out with the Wolfsbane bombs. But anyway, there were more hybrids in the house. She said, he asked her, why did you bother with this? Why do you even care? I thought you didn't care anybody but yourself. And she said, well, you know what? I think I liked you a whole lot better the way you were before. You were all broody. I like that Stefan better. And she actually says to him that she doesn't want to see him lose his humanity. That's very rare for her to get maudlin like that, because she never seemed to care before, but she actually does. She realized somewhere along the way that she did love them both. Maybe she wasn't in love with them. Well, not in love with Damon, but that she did love and care for them both, and doesn't want them to be hurt. And she also knew that Stefan wouldn't, no matter what he says to the contrary, doesn't want anything to happen to Damon. So she took a chance, and it worked. And Stefan saved Damon's life, but they could never tell him. I guess it's easier for Stefan to be gone, and for them to think that, the plan just got screwed up because Stefan, But, so she drops him off and disappears. And I think probably one of the best done scenes that I've seen yet happens right after. Klaus goes back to the truck that he has that contains all the coffins of his family members. And he gives a call to Rebecca to let her know that Daddy's, or he tries to call Rebecca, but he doesn't know that Rebecca's been daggered. He has no clue. So he called her, and she's not picking up her phone. And so he leaves her a voicemail, let her know that, Daddy's dead, and I'm going to reunite the rest of the family. So call me. And then Stefan calls him, and he says, "Oh, Stefan, thank you so much for all the help that you've given me, but I really have to go now." I was like, "Actually, hold on. You took everything from me, so I decided I would repay you in kind." He says, "Well, and Klaus asked him, where exactly are you?" He said, "Oh, I'm just enjoying my freedom." So Catherine told him that if you wanted to fix this, if he wanted to take down Klaus, that he was going to have to dig into himself, because the reason why Stefan won't allow himself to feel is because he's terrified of letting all the guilt for everything he's done truly set in, because he doesn't think he'd be able to survive it. Because he feels that guilt so acutely. He knows if he were to allow himself to feel it, then all that guilt would just be laid upon him, and it would hurt way too much. So she says, "Well, instead of feeling the guilt, then how about this? get angry. Because, yeah, it's true. He's taken everything from you, absolutely everything. So, what does Stefan do? Probably the best move I've seen yet. He says, you took everything from me, so I'm gonna repay you in kind. And when Klaus goes to open up the truck to look inside, there's nothing in there. It's completely bare. Stefan, because Stefan knew where he kept it, stole all the coffins. And that's where he was calling from, wherever it was he was keeping them, because he was surrounded by coffins. So he has the entire original family at his disposal. And he could easily open up those coffins, undagger them whenever he wants, and set them after Klaus whenever he wants. Ingenious. Ingenious.
Your part and my
And of course,
part.
Klaus is beyond angry. I swear if I find you, I'll kill everyone you've ever met. And it ends there. So, what to say? Big ending. Big and huge. I mean, we all knew that Klaus probably wasn't going to be killed. But this is big. Now they've lost their meal ticket. They had Michael and they've lost that. Klaus has got the stake now, the only thing that can kill him in his possession. But Stefan has the family. You get enough originals up against one, and it's going to be one hell of a brawl. Because I think if he can convince if he can get the originals on side, big advantage. There was a little preview into what will be upcoming in episode 10, titled The New Deal, which will debut on January 5th, 2012. It was kind of quick, so it wasn't really easy to see what was going on. I just know that Klaus is going to wreak his vengeance on Stefan and everyone that Stefan cares about for stealing those coffins. And it's going to come down hard on everybody. Everybody. I have a very sinking feeling that someone in the cast is going to get killed. I don't know who, but I have this sinking suspicion someone's going to die, and die for real. I don't believe it's going to be Elena or Dana or even Stefan. I just think someone in that cast may die. Some publicity information. There's 2 pieces of casting. They have cast an African-American actress to play the character of Abby Bennett, who is Bonnie's mother, another witch. It's been suspected that it's been posited that she's the witch that imprisoned Michael, but I mean, no one knows this for sure. All we know about Bonnie's mother was that she has some kind of mental or emotional issues that caused her some secrets somewhere that caused her to walk away from her life and abandon Bonnie. That's why she lives with her father. There's another part in cast of a character by the name of Mary, who I think is supposed to be a doctor at the local hospital that possibly Alarv might get involved with. A lot of people are thinking, because of the name, that this might be their invention of Meredith Sulez, who is actually a very main character in the books, who was left out of the show. Because the show is such a big ensemble cast, they just couldn't fit her in there. But they've been saying for a long time now that they wanted to bring her in some way. They were just trying to figure out how. Because a lot of the fans are like, Meredith, because she's very integral to the story if you've ever read the books. So they're thinking maybe this is their idea of bringing in that character, but no one really knows for sure. It's also in the books, Mary is the name of Bonnie's older sister, but the actress is not black. So I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. It's gonna get pretty hairy. I think it's gonna get worse before it gets better. But I will say this on a positive note for my other. The rest of the Damon and Elena fan base.
It's a cake, Mommy.
That I think it's going to get better before it gets worse. It looks like things between them are starting to simmer. And I don't think she's going to be able to deny it for much longer. That look that they shared in that scene, I mean, that was down and dirty. It's not going to be too much longer now, I'm telling you. I'm not saying that it's going to be like a roll in the hay or anything, but there's only so much a person can deny before it just gets to be ridiculous. And I think she knows at this point that, especially now that she said that she's letting Stefan go. And a lot of fans would say, oh, she's betraying him by going off with his brother, but she's not really, because if you think about it, their relationship hasn't been on very firm ground since probably Jenna tried to kill herself. I think Elena started to realize at that point just how serious it was being involved, how serious and bad it was being involved with Stefan. And after she broke it off, yeah, that didn't last too long. They got back together eventually, but it was never quite the same as it used to be. The passion that they had, the overwhelming love.
Mommy.
It just something in there, something between them died when Jenna got hurt, and I think.
Open it.
I don't think that passion has been there like it was. Not that the relationship ever had all that much passion in the first place, because they really didn't. They were. I'm sorry, I'm not really a Stelena whatever person. They've always kind of bored me just a tad. The relationship between Damon and Elena was a lot more. There's so much more there. I mean, it just. And it's not even because Nina and Ian are actually involved in real life, although that does add a lot of chemistry to it. It's not even because of that. I mean, in every scene that they're in together, they just simmer. They don't even have to speak words. Words don't even have to come from their mouth. I mean, just the looks that they share. I mean, it's ridiculous. They just absolutely simmer. And so much more than anything that she and Stefan have ever shared together. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see whatever the writers have to give us. So this is going to be my last for a while, since until at least January 5th anyway, when the show comes back. So wishing everybody a happy holiday, good Thanksgiving and Christmas, and a safe New Year. And see you guys in 2012 for the rest of Vampire Diaries. Peace.